to love him. And I was never supposed to touch him, but I did. I told myself it was time for me to live a little. I had been a good girl for too long, and there was nothing wrong if I would give a little, and now it's too late to regret my decision or the consequences of my actions. I sought and found pure satisfaction, tried to mask my insecurities with moments of passion. But see, a fling by definition isn't meant to last forever, so we cherished every moment we could lay away together, never knowing whether that particular moment might be our last, so we gave one another everything that we had. We shared our bodies because our hearts were unavailable. Love is too much of a scary thing, so we gave something tangible, but when sex is involved, emotions are not manageable. And that statement is not gender biased, though the gender reaction might be different. Most women will near it while most men won't risk it, but that's not what this is. I'm far from a victim because I knew the business. I knew what was up when I got the call at 1 o'clock in the a.m. And he knew what was going down when he laid me down at 1:15 in the a.m. I say him be like sweet dreams in the midnight hour. Him be like sunshine after morning showers. He be that forbidden fruit that I chose to devour. But I've learned that midnight dreams can sometimes be interrupted and the dark clouds will cover up sunny days. So I have to learn to not try and sex pain away. Wanting orgasms to wash rain away. Trying to release tears that won't fall naturally, knowing that I can release my tension if only someone would touch me passionately. But then God says, don't be a fool to think that sexual healing can help you cope with the hand that the Most High is dealing. The thought alone is ludicrous. So you think you'll just give yourself to him when it's your spirit that is diminished. So you share yourself with him when it's your spirit that needs to be replenished. And you know what? When sex is finished, you will have gained more, just not what you bargained for. Because every time that he enters you, he leaves a small deposit. It's a piece of his spirit and his presence is obvious. Tell me what happens when he leaves. What happens when the climax is over and the heart begins to breathe? What happens then? When intimacy ends and the door shuts behind him and you begin to miss the hands that held you. And all that you can hold on to are the things that he would tell you. See, we made that same frivolous contract to remain attached, although the bodies were attracted. And I need to retract my statement because those damn verbal contracts don't hold up in court anyway and a system in line. I didn't mean to love him, God knows that I tried, but it's easy to become confused when friends behave as lovers do. I mean, he made love to me as though his life depended on him. As if my body was his life preserve and he appreciated every minute on it. He held on to me as we rode the waves of passion, past our indiscretions and into paradise. Right past the Vickies and in between the thighs, it was a ritual similar to sacrifice. But what's the joy in giving when the cause is unjust? And what's the point of loving for a moment if there can never be in us? The thought alone is torturous. There is no rest for a lonely soul at 1 o'clock in the a.m. So I was down with whatever was going down at 1:15 in the a.m. I say him be a dose of comfort in my weakest moment. Him be the remedy to my pain and his medicine is potent. But what matters of the heart, longevity has its place, and sometimes he would leave just as fast as he came. Literally. He would get up and he would leave just as fast as he came, so I have to learn to not try and sex pain away. Interrupted nights don't bring brighter days. The soul needs its rest, lest we forget that anything that enters the body can be addictive. So let the gateway to your soul be restricted. Come on. Because how do you ask God to give you peace in the midst of a situation he told you not to enter? And how do you forget to love when it's less painful to just remember? I wasn't supposed to love him, and I was never supposed to touch him, but I did. And now the emptiness burns, and all that I can do now is just live and learn. It's not about him. I'm not upset at him. We was doing what humans be doing, you know what I mean? But in hindsight, I'm like, nah, sis. Took me a while to listen to my own poem, but nah, sis. Is it okay if I introduce you all to my grandmother? Yes. I was downstairs most of the time. This is real nice energy. Y'all listening and nodding and smiling and whatnot. I appreciate y'all. But I have to pay homage to Rebecca Wilson, my grandmother. Quick said I was from every city in Everybody came out here. I was born in Mansur, Louisiana, a very small town, not on most maps, you know. And so this tells you a little bit about my upbringing, or at least my legacy, my grandmother's legacy. Shout out to Grandma. I never met her. So shout out to her for real. My grandmother's spirit lives in a cast iron skillet that sits in my mama's kitchen. It's been frying up egg and rice long before I knew that Asian-inspired restaurants existed. It fed a family of 14, Big Daddy, Grandma, 14 children. All of this primary to this name that I was given. The skillet conjured up miracles down a country road where no belly went empty, not even the neighbors to hear them say she was a blessing. She would give her last slice of bread to the rest of them before she'd see them grow hungry. She spent what she had on her little army and gave God what she could, like a good woman should. They called her sis. She felt like everybody's kin. So they cried like my mom did at age 10 when kidney failure sent my grandmother sailing among the angels to hear them say it. She had probably been there all along. So they proudly sang songs of sis, welcome back home. To hear them tell it, I missed the chance to meet someone special. But my mother gave me the ability to channel her energy every time that the world addresses me, Rebecca. It is a Hebrew name meaning faith, as in things unseen, like how my grandmother must have been, how she smiled, how she loved, the way that my mother feels, or the way that I feel every time my mother speaks of her. A matriarch who played her part beyond life itself, so that even after her body was laid to rest, her victories transcended to everyone else. Children band together to raise younger siblings, and the town folk poke their nose in our family's business, necessary for our legacy to continue. It is the way of Southern people to keep an eye on you when your mama ain't watching. And sometimes they whip you and don't nobody stop them. My maternal grandmother is a mystery to me beyond my mother's early memories, but one thing remains the same. Growing up with this name in a racially tense state ain't easy. Skin too black for the name. Name too white for most black folk to appreciate, but still there's this cast iron skillet that sits in my mama's kitchen. It's still browning root for the gumbo, still browning chicken for the okra, and somehow pancakes never stick. It operates the same way that it did when sis threw that apron over her skirt and went to work to feed 14 mouths. And they went in the South, so we talking manly service for everybody. Rebecca also means to bind, and my grandmother had family ties. Imagine what she would have done with 30 more years of life. Then again, this is what she did with countless years of living right. I mean, look at us. Well, but right now, look at me still trying to be worthy of my name. I'm still intimidated by the cast iron skillet that sits over the flame unchanged. Grandma, I never learned to move in the kitchen like you, but my poetry feeds the masses. Your audience lick their fingertips and mine commits to clapping, and even though it's not the same, they honor you just by knowing me every time that they say our name. Hey sisters. Hey. I was about to say, I mean, is y'all not in here? I was like, I want to dedicate to the sisters, and somebody over here held me down. Thank you. Oh, I calls people out. So I'm going to dedicate this to the sisters in the room. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Brothers, I'm going to dedicate a poem to y'all first. I'm over it. I'm over it. Ain't nobody get on no plane for that. Shit.
Say it one more time, one more time. Give it to us one more time.
One more time, we gonna do it. I promise. Brothers, I still got y'all next, okay? Ladies.
Come on, girl. Come on, girl.
He said, stop playing with me.
Come on, sis.
All the excitement I have.
Let's lay it down. Let's lay it down.
I love my sisters.
Yeah.
We love you too.
I'm so over it. Everything in me is struggling, but don't even worry about it. Just listen. Yeah. Just listen. You ain't gotta give me no fake energy, okay? Just love my sisters. I'm pretty can we curse?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, cool. I love my sisters.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure like 4 or 5 of us might be fucked up as individuals, but as a collective, you're gonna have to say our name and respect it, and I'm talking about the whole gender. You cannot talk about the women who came before me or the sisters who stand beside me like we ain't all members of Queen US chapter.
Come on.
We done been through too much together. We've crossed the line for each other so many times that we are branded with the same letters. I'm team BWM, Black Women Matter. I don't have to know her to respect the glow in her. I know the sis got a story. I know the odds stacked against her, even goddesses fall from glory. So I'm not saying you can't vent about what a Black woman did. I'm just saying when you tell your little story, you still gotta tell it like you got some sense. Because our wombs carry whole humans, whether we have birthed a child or never. Our body is godly 7 days out of the month. Our breast will nurture humanity forever. So say what you need to say, just recognize that we are goddesses first. I get nervous when folks talk too long without recognizing our work. We're putting in the most divine and feminine work. I don't know a soul more resilient on the face of this earth. So you can't compliment me by insulting another queen. And don't you dare compare us. Sis got her own thing, I got mine. There's room enough for all of us
That's
to shine.
right.
Whether she's side by side or in different lanes, you gonna respect her all the same.
That part.
And when you in my presence, say her name. She is legendary. Why would you refer to her as a female as if the word woman ain't already in your vocabulary? That's either petty or lazy. She is more than her reproductive parts. Black women are art, and even when things fall apart and tend to shatter, I'm not saying what sis did don't matter. I'm saying that we are divine as a baseline. So we're gonna have to agree at that point for any conversation to move on. Black women deserve grace. We are the least protected people on this planet, and we still hold space for everyone, often despite ourselves. That's why I love being a Black woman. I wouldn't want to be anything or anyone else. We have been trendsetters and go-getters for as long as I can remember, and here I'm talking about the whole gender. So it's cool if you got a little story to tell. But when you talk about the whole of us, put some love back in them details. Talk about me and my girls respectfully. Because even when we are flawed, Black women are legendary. I do. I'm working on it. Before I came upstairs, I said, Lord. I said, calm my spirit, you know, speak through me, do all the things. And then I got here and I said, I don't even know what I said, but I called upon y'all and y'all left me hanging.
We love you.
And the Aries is like, go downstairs and drink your tea.
You gotta let it go. Let it go.
But I wrote that during the time I was heavy on Clubhouse. Y'all on that app or used to be on that app? I don't know if it died off or nothing. I was still going strong. Okay. But one of the issues I was having was popping into rooms where men and women were
colliding,
arguing over silly stuff. Some of the points are valid, but it wasn't really a platform for growth, at least not in my experience. But this was before Kevin Samuels passed. And that whole energy was just, it was bothering me. So I wanted to uplift my sisters real fast. This next poem is for the brothers.
Y'all feel weak too. She need a little bit more energy. Just a little bit. Hang in there, Aries, baby.
I mean, I'm gonna take it. You know what I mean? It's good compared, even beyond. Thank you for that. You held me down. We're gonna talk about it. The name of this poem is "A Soft Place to Land," and every April and October, I lead poets through a 30-30 writing challenge. I post a prompt every morning. Folks write. It's dope. So one of the prompts that I gave us to write to was "A Soft Place to Land," and this is what came up for me. But this is also my ode to Black men, because y'all deserve. I love the poems. Yeah, okay.
That's so funny.
A black body will always embody the soft place where I land. There is nothing more beautiful than a black man. No better view than the sun illuminating the hue of a black hand, fingers intertwined in mine. King, you fine. And I would spend my whole black lifetime searching for you in a million places. Let me escape in your smile, in your broad shoulders. Your scent wakes me up like Folgers, and I just want to breathe in your aura. Your conversation feels like a Super Soul Sunday, but your name ain't Oprah. Whether caramel or mocha, bring that melanin round here, boo. Let me lay eyes and hands on you. There is nothing more beautiful than a man with a vision. A brother who knows to attach himself to a mission. A man who ain't out here asking for submission is already granted because you move like a man who is already